time that I shot this film, I was living in an office job. That's when I started to write this film. And when I saw these toll booth attendants working in the toll booth, I realized the similarities of my life. At that phase of my life, I was living in a kind of like a water world. I could see things but couldn't see. I could hear things but I couldn't hear. Okay. And when I see this toll booth guy, I realize the similarities of my life also with his life. The machine-like, robot-like continuing. I don't believe that there is no hope. I don't believe that Kenan's story just started yet, actually. This is one phase of the life of Kenan. And his life, I think, starts after he touches that chair, arm of that chair. I do not believe that there is no hope, but I'm not here to give you also answers also. This is one part of my life that I put the questions to my own life and to the people's life also. Maybe can find some similarities, but I'm not here to find also answers. Hope is an answer also. Not having a hope is also a result, is an answer. My aim is to ask questions, and everyone's answers to themselves. You can look at this film and see it as a hopeful film. You can look at it and see it as an unhopeful film. It's only the answer that you can get. Let me tell you how it started actually, how I came up with this idea. I was passing through this Bosphorus bridge, and at that time there were toll booths on the bridge. So there was a huge line in front of me, and I just wanted to be sympathetic to the guy, and I said, "Have a nice day," to the guy. And he looked at me like I cursed at his mom or something. And for 3 days I told about the reason of this book. It was not like, yeah, have this fucking good luck to yourself. It was not something like that. It was something else. And I realized afterwards that it was me taking him out of his machine world. I just broke his concentration. Just next to him there is a machine that's doing the same job that the guy is doing. So he has to become the machine to continue his work. So I wrote to the syndicate of the toll booth guys. I actually said, I'm going to make a film about toll booth guys. If you help me, it might be a better film. If you don't help me, I will shoot it anyways. So they just wrote me back about this, just one line. The guy who you will contact the syndicate answers. The guy who will communicate this with this number. So I went there and worked 1 month as a toll booth guy to be able to write this film. And in that job, I realized that there is a whole different mindset. You can just push me. It is like you do your job and there is no end to your job. It's like we do our things and like we do our job and then we finish something and we start something else, or we just continue talking with someone next to us. But that job is you do it and you do it and you do it, and then you raise your head and then you see the line is still there. And it doesn't finish. And it just gave me a whole new perception about actually my own life, what I was doing, what I have been through. Actually, we feel like we're finishing something and starting something else. But what we do is exactly, we are living in a house, which is a box. Then our car is a box. Then we go to our office, which is another box. And we are continuing things and we feel like we are finishing something and starting something else. But yet, we do not finish anything and we do not start anything else. We just continue in this circle. All and all and all and all. And this was my way of breaking my circle. I was sick of my circle. And those small details, small moments that we think that we are finishing and starting something, which maybe gave you the idea that there is no hope, but I still feel that there is hope. That this was my way of questioning that circle actually. This was my way of freeing myself. And that's why I do not care about the reality that much. It's reality in that film also, with the flashbacks and the dreams and the reality. It's all perception. And our life is all about perception. That's why I love making films. That's why I like projecting my dreams. Because for me, this is reality. And for me, this is how I deal with my reality, which also becomes my own reality. Because understanding and making it real and making it have a meaningful something, everything that we see in our life is the sickness of our century, actually. What we believe is what we live, and I did not choose. I refused to continue that circle. That's how I use the tool. Good luck to me. In my own experience, the repetition of doing the same thing and doing the same thing over and over again, I had to close myself to continue my life. So I had to close my emotions to be able to continue and to take what was in my life. And that's why I felt like I was living in the water, hearing things and not hearing them completely, seeing things but not seeing completely. Also, when I was as a tour group guide, there was this lady. Actually, if I had known her before, I would be shooting her life, a female character as the male, as the main character. She told me, I'm coming here doing the same thing over and over again. Then I'm going to my house, preparing my dinner, preparing the dinner of my kids. And then I'm having like a robot, and I do not feel anything. And then I'm having sex with my husband, because I have to do things. And this is like the circle of my life, she was telling me. So, repetition, if you can deal with the repetition, if you can continue the repetition and open your, still be open to your senses, it's something. But in my life, and in that Tolga's life, that repetition you cannot take, you can only take by closing yourself, becoming like a machine. This is also Kenan in particular, of course. Kenan was raised without a mother after he was 5 years old. And Kenan's father raised him. And he was not able to deal with emotions.